She went on this like very religious tirade where she burned a lot of incense, she washed the walls, and I asked her, what is she doing? And she's like, I'm trying to rid the house of evil spirits. And she like blew up Bible scriptures and hung them on the walls and blasted gospel and preacher sermons.
I'm Nancy Newton. I identify as a lesbian. I'm the director of the Center for Victim Advocacy and Violence Prevention.
Hey, my name is Brett Harrison. I'm gay. I'm a freshman psychology major.
My name is Jamal McNeil. Pretty sure I identify as gay. I'm a sophomore. I'm majoring in mass communications, minor in international studies.
My name is Lynn Carlson. I identify as lesbian. I am an academic advisor in the College of Education.
My name's Kevin Craig. I identify as a gay male. I'm a biomedical science major here.
My name is Mark Hafen. How do I identify as a gay man? I'm a senior instructor in the Department of Geography, Environment, and Planning, and I'm also chair of the Presidential Advisory Committee on Issues of Sexual Orientation and Gender Identity.
My name is Kendall Workman. I just identify as gay. I'm a junior here studying political sciences, and I'm serving as the Pride Alliance president.
My name's Laura. The closest thing would be pansexual. I am also a junior here in the nursing program at USF.
I am Jason Rodensel. I identify as gay and cisgendered. We'll throw that in there too. I am a first-year biomedical science student, and I am the PR officer for Pride this semester.
My name is Shanice Thompson. I identify as lesbian and genderqueer. I'm a freshman at the University of South Florida. I'm majoring in creative writing and currently minoring in theater.
I would not recommend this for anybody, but I didn't come out until I was 30.
I always knew that I was kind of different. I was always a tomboy growing up. I always preferred, my Hot Wheels over my Barbie dolls.
I first started to think I might be gay back in 8th grade.
I realized that I was attracted to boys. It actually kind of came slowly. I would think about guys and be attracted to them, but then it took me a long time to realize, like, oh, well, maybe I'm gay then.
I didn't understand it. I didn't know why it was wrong.
When puberty hit, when I hit 14, 15, and all my girlfriends started having crushes on boys and I didn't get crushes on boys, I just figured I either just hadn't met the right fella yet. I was never going to meet somebody and it would happen later in life to me. It just wasn't discussed in my house. And it wasn't until I was in my close to 30, that I figured out that, there's something different here about me.
I did not recognize who I was until I was 30.
It was this one moment of catharsis, this one moment that inevitably needed to happen, and it was the scariest moment of my life. I didn't know how people were going to react. I didn't know what my friends were going to say. I didn't know who was going to support me. I didn't know who was going to hate me.
My mom, our relationship was pretty bad for a while, and I harbored some ill feelings, and after I first came out, we just kind of didn't talk about it for a while.
When I did work at the Rape Crisis Center in Madison, Wisconsin, and I was working with, I started out working with this very brave little 10-year-old girl who unfortunately had been sexually abused by an uncle. I worked with that child for a year, and then when she was 13, she called me and said, I really want to, I need to talk about it some more. I want to come see you. So she came back for a couple of sessions. One day, she didn't show up for her appointment, and she called me the next day in tears. And she said, my mother won't let me come and see you anymore. And I said, why is that? And she said, my mother found out you're a lesbian. And I said, what do you want? And she said, I don't care. You saved my life. But it was crushing to me. I tried very hard not to take it personally, but that didn't work because it was personal. All she could see was that I was an alien. I suddenly turned into a monster to her.
And it was a really rough time. We stopped speaking for a really, really long time, and she still hasn't come to terms with it at all.
It was, I can't have a gay child. What are people gonna think? You're going to hell. Anything that you could possibly imagine. It was thrown, and including objects. I think various plates, ketchup bottles, flip-flops. They were thrown. I completely shut down. That's kind of like our breaking point in my parents and I's, or my mother and I's relationship.
On a religious base, my family is Christian based, and I used to go to church all the time. And I come from a town where there are gay people everywhere and stuff, which is ironic, but I would go to church and they would just be preaching about how these gay people are sinners and Sin City. It was just awful things they were saying, and it made me feel bad, but it was never to the point where I wanted to do something bad about it.
I considered suicide. I was very depressed when I first came out, when my parents didn't accept me right away. And the thing that really helped me was having a strong support from my friends. Before you come out, make sure you have someone, like a friend that you can talk to, who can be there for you.
My friends got me through this amazing time. I have a few special friends who love me for who I am, and they got me through senior year. They told me that I am beautiful for exactly who I am, and that is the greatest thing in life, is to love yourself and to be exactly who you are, and to have friends who love you exactly for who you are. And notwithstanding your sexuality, your likes, your desires, your dislikes, it's just, my friends really got me through that tough time. And it was amazing to me because that senior year was such a dark and depressing time for me.
I know times get really hard, and I know they get really dark, and I know sometimes you can't see the light. I know what that's like. I've been there many times. But as cheesy as it sounds, love will find you. And it may not be the romantic love. It may not be a relationship or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It may just be a friend. But one day it'll find you and you'll just feel safe. And there's always a home. It may not be the home that you're at now, but there's always, always a home to come home to.
Let's stop for a while and watch the world turn. We've got to see like fireworks can burn. It's hard sometimes behind another's eyes. The difference is made just by being kind. Just by being kind.
Well, the only thing I could say is, if I could tell anybody who's wondering about their own coming out process and wondering whether it's worth it and struggling with their sexual identity, it's more than that it gets better, it gets fantastic, I wouldn't trade my life right now for anything.
It does get better every day, and you have to keep looking for that extra day, because you want to keep that up as long as you can. If nothing else, just to prove the people that hate you and don't like you, prove them wrong.
And it really does get better.
It does get better.
We have to keep on being strong and being the individual we're supposed to be, no matter what people say.
It does get better. Yeah. We got this.
It doesn't just get better, it gets ineffably amazing.
I want you to know that it gets better. I don't want you to go, 'cause it gets so much better. I want you to know that it gets better. I don't want you better.
If I could say anything to someone coming into their shoes and trying to figure out who they are and coming out right now, it would be to just take your time, relax a little bit. If you look, there'll be answers and there'll be people there to support you. You don't become an advocate overnight. You don't become Pride president overnight. It's taken me to get where I am now, comfortable with myself, since 7th grade. It's slow and it's unpredictable and it's crazy, and enjoy it while you can, but stick with it.
Thank you.